What? I feel like I have to read this book. Yup. God works quick, but I work quicker. I made a video talking about my best books of the year, right? And I asked you guys for your best books of this year. So I'm gonna be going through all that. Also follow me on Instagram at sunnykimreads if you're not already. I post question stickers and stuff all the time because like I said, I'm trying to capitalize on the fact that all of us are here. Oh my gosh, and so many guys put in responses. Thank you guys. I'm also trying to get on my 2023 TBR. Like I said, I'm milking what I can. So I'm just gonna be going through your responses and sharing all of your guys' best books of the year. Secret popcorn. Someone said Circe and the Strange the Dreamer trilogy, which actually I had been meaning to read. Well, not so much Circe. I do know Circe is the same author as Song of Achilles, which Song of Achilles, oh my god. If you're a Song of Achilles hoe, except I feel like I didn't love Song of Achilles that much, so I'm not as urgent to read Circe. The Strange the Dreamer trilogy, however, I feel like I have been wanting to read that trilogy. Oh, it's a duology. That ends up being people's favorite books, from what I've seen on booktube and stuff. I'm really late to the bandwagon because this book was really hyped and super popular so many years ago. I just never got onto it because I was intimidated. The book is so thick. I just don't know if it has a romance in it, a side plot romance. Most of the books that I read, I mostly read it because I love a side romance plot. Next, someone said In the Weeds and Icebreaker. I don't know what In the Weeds is. Hold on a second. That sounds like Over the Hedge. Do you know that animated movie that is the best animated movie of all time? However, Icebreaker, I'm pretty sure I've heard Icebreaker. Yup, I've heard Icebreaker everywhere. I'm putting it on my want to reads right now. This is the last straw because I've heard so many amazing things about this book. People have been telling me that it is the best book ever and the newest obsession. I think it's the start of a new romance long companion series. I love reading the first book to those because for the most part I end up not liking the first couple as much, but I'm more excited about a couple that they tease in the first book, and I'm invested in the long term to see their book because that's the one that's most often a slow burn. That's actually such a life hack. I love that so much. I'm pretty sure this one is about a figure skater and a hockey player. I think the skating team and the hockey team has to share a rink and then they end up having to be partners in something. Yeah, that just sounds like the start of a Disney Channel original movie. Is it probably not because I don't think this is that PG-13, but I heard that it was really good and that the couple is so cute and that the book is really... Anyway, should I get it right now? Or do I already have it? Yup. I do have it. I am that easy. It was literally the last. Look at that. I'm actually the most consistent person I've ever met in my life. By the way, multiple people have said the Raven Boys series / the Raven Cycle series, they read it for the first time this year and now it's their favorite book series of all time. And can I just say, I literally told you so. I don't know, I'm acting like I am the only ambassador for the series when the series is in fact a bestseller series. But I'm just saying I feel I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and so I feel I need to do my due diligence and make sure that this series never dies. Or someone said the Six of Crows duology and Our Violent Ends, which, yeah, Maddie Smith 77, you understood the assignment. Now you're the professor, you understood. Oh, someone said The Way I Used to Be, which this book has actually been on my TBR probably since middle school. Look-key, I don't know when this book came out, but the first time that it ever came out, it was on my TBR. Then, okay, I feel I should do a video. Actually, I need to write this down in my notes. I think I actually need to do a video of me going through the oldest books on my TBR. Oh, that's gonna be so embarrassing though. Some things are better left unsaid. If you know that reference, we're literally best friends. Someone said The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. The amount of propaganda that I feel has inserted itself into my life ever since starting booktube for this goddamn book, I just feel I have been avoiding trying to read this book because it is fake dating. I feel the fact that I don't like fake dating is actually the bane of my entire existence. I wish that I loved fake dating because I feel there's so many books that are hyped so much about fake dating. I have FOMO about it, although recently I learned about something called ROMO, which is the relief of missing out, which I have experienced a lot. I'm not someone who has crippling FOMO. My roommate, I feel has crippling FOMO. I feel my FOMO is I feel it's average / dips below average sometimes. But I feel for the most part, I have ROMO. I actually have the most crippling ROMO, I think. I think that's my issue. Can you guys comment down below if you're like this too? It's actually effortful on other people to get me to actually go out because I will always be someone who prefers to stay in. My issue though is that I love getting dressed up, getting done up, but I hate actually going out. That is my issue. I leave the door, not even 20 minutes later, I'm already regretting my decision, already wanted to be home and just reading my books. Like a pick-me. Anyway, I don't know how we got there, but The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, I feel either one person has to sell it to me so good to get me to read it, or I have to find it thrown out on the streets or something and it's a free book. I can't pass up a free book and then I'll take it and then I'll have to read it. One of those two situations has to happen, otherwise I'm literally never gonna read this book. But then I have FOMO. But do I actually have ROMO? No, I have FOMO. Someone said Foul Lady Fortune, which I'm literally reading right now. And yes, as you should. It's actually such a good book and I'm enjoying it so much. Even though, oh my gosh, did I talk about this now? Yeah, I'll talk about it now. Even though it's fake dating slash marriage of convenience, which like I said, I hate those tropes. It's so rare that I actually enjoy it. I don't even know if in the books where I like enjoy it, I don't actually like enjoy it. I just like tolerate it. Like it's not like intolerable, where like most books with fake dating slash marriage of convenience is actually intolerable for me to read. So I had to stop reading the book. I'm so problematic. But this book, like I'm not minding it. It's like tolerable, which is really, really good for me. The Darkest Minds, and they also said We Are Not Free. And We Are Not Free is also a book that has been on my TBR probably since last year. I actually love reading historical fiction because fun fact, history is like a random subject in my life where I'm like kind of nerdy about it. Not nerdy as in like I know a lot. I actually know probably below average, but like I find it so interesting. I think I just love taking the white man down and understanding that like most slash all the problems in our world is because one man got way too confident. This is what happens when mediocre men like get a little bit too confident. What happens? Colonization. Just kidding. It's way more complex than that. But also like, but anyway, We Are Not Free is a historical fiction about Japanese internment camps in the US. I've heard so many amazing things about it and I want to read about it so badly because it's Asian. I especially love reading about like Asian historical fiction, but not just Asian, as in like it takes place in Asia, but like the Asian diaspora, Asian American, Asian Canadian, Asian whatever, because that is what I am and I feel a lot closer to my history. Like I feel like I definitely feel like I don't really identify with like white history, like Canadian history or anything like that, but I also don't feel like I fully feel seen slash identify with like Asian history that takes place in Asia because I am Asian Canadian. For example, like Stacey Lee's books, she does an amazing job writing stories like this of main characters who are part of the Asian diaspora, as in they're Asian, they left Asia. Those are the ones that I really, really feel like I see myself in, and so that's why I want to read this book so badly. Like I just feel like we were never taught about that, and like why? Literally why? Oh my gosh, someone said Winter Song by S.J. Jones, which this is also a book that has been on my TBR because I just love this one quote from this book. I always say that it's actually one of my favorite quotes and then I feel like such a fraud because I actually never read the book. Like I said, I'm literally so consistent. Every single time that I am reminded of this quote, I am reminded of the book and the fact that I haven't read the book, and then I feel guilty and then I end up going to Goodreads and searching the book up. But there's always some kind of trope in this book that makes me not want to read it, and I forget what trope it is, and so we're gonna figure it out together. This is, I kid you not, probably the 20th time that I've done this, and that's not a hyperbole or an exaggeration. Okay, now I know. It's the trope where there's like some evil being or evil person or something who like demands that like once a year like, a young girl goes to him and like marries him, something like that, and everyone thinks that he's so evil, but then one of the girls actually goes and finds out that he's misunderstood and ends up falling in love with him. I don't know why I don't like that trope. I'm sure there's like a better way to explain that trope. I just don't like it. And so this is kind of the same thing. It's like with the Goblin King. Liesl has heard tales of the beautiful, dangerous Goblin King. When her sister is taken by the Goblin King, she has no choice but to journey the underground to save her. Although look, the author's age. Maybe I should read it. I feel like this year is the year that I'm gonna read it. Someone said Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I genuinely think I've never seen a more beautiful book ever. However beautiful you think the book is, seeing her in real life in the flesh in the bookstore, I literally just want that book for vanity reasons. That book is so beautiful to me. Oh my god, The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I kind of grouped this with Strange the Dreamer. I feel like they got popular at the same time and they were both books that like I didn't read. I feel like I'm always like saving books. This is actually another one of my toxic traits. I'm now realizing now that these are just traits of mine and maybe I'm just a toxic person. I feel like I always like save books. Books that I feel like are really good, like books that I think that I will really love and a lot of people love them. I end up never reading it next because I am saving it, but then I'll end up never reading it. Like I feel like so many books are like that. This is one of those books to me. Oh, someone said Better Than the Movies, which multiple people have also recommended me to read, but you guys know how I feel about like YA romance. Like it's so hard for me to like it. I just hate like that flavor of writing, which is like adult clearly trying to write like a modern teenager. I can't bear it if it's like not done well, and I genuinely have only ever seen it done well once. Like it's one of those things where it's actually like intolerable to me and then I have to not read the book and I feel so bad. Guys, to be honest, I don't like those romances that are like really sweet and fluffy to the point that they're like cheesy, but that's like what's cute about it, which is really weird because I feel like I'm like a cheesy person in my real life, like in my friendship, but like when I read it in books, I need my books to not be like that, and so I have a really hard time reading books like this even though some people recommend it. Oh, someone said the Poppy War trilogy and A Little Life. Poppy War, I'm reading it currently. Okay, I read it like halfway and then everyone started scaring me and they were saying that like it was like so traumatic and like so scary, and I kept being like, wait, what? Nothing has happened yet. And then you guys were like, it's called the Poppy War, love. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? I'm like, Same with A Little Life. I'm gonna do a reading vlog for A Little Life, but like I always wait for like the prime opportunity of like when I'm like not emotionally naked and afraid, but I literally have not been like that a single day of this year. Someone said Twisted Hate or Terms and Conditions. Both of these series, I think that I could be convinced to read them. Is my camera about to die? Anyway, I'm just gonna keep filming until it cuts me off. I'm gonna get them right now. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have the first Twisted Love book already. I do. I already have it because I definitely went through the same thinking process another time because I'm so consistent. Just kidding. It was the fact that I ran out of memory on my card, so I had to purge my camera of everything. Oh, someone said Beautiful World, Where Are You? Which is a Sally Rooney book. I'm willing to give Sally Rooney another shot. I still need to read Conversations with Friends, I think, because it's becoming an adaptation. But if anyone has read Beautiful World, Where Are You? I feel like I've seen like mixed reviews about it. Oh my gosh, I just searched up a book that someone said just because the title of it was so interesting. I fell in love with hope. And now I want to read it because it sounds like I will cry. Look, it says, against the unforgiving landscape of a hospital, I fell in love with a mischievous, sun-eyed boy who became my only joy in the desolate place. That's what made it all the more soul-crushing when he committed suicide in front of me. Since then, I've sworn never to love anyone again. So what happens when someone else walks through the door? What happens when a girl joins our party and renders me speechless with her mischievous smile? What happens when she has suns in her eyes and as terrified as I am to lose again, I start to fall? What? I feel like I have to read this book. Yup. God works quick, but I work quicker. Oh, someone said The Atlas Paradox, which I also have, and I have to start reading that. Oh my gosh, someone else said I fell in love with hope, 6 out of 5. I have to read this book. What is this book that I have never heard about? Other people are saying Better Than the Movies, Icebreaker. Someone said Blood Marked, and I literally have that book. I have to read it. Oh my gosh, I'm loving just searching up all of these like book titles I had never heard about. Someone said Under Different Stars by Amy Bartle, and I just searched it up. It looks like it's like a romance between a girl named Cricket and a boy named Trey. Well-versed in dodging caseworkers from Chicago's foster care system, the past few years on her own have made Cricket an expert at the art of survival and blending in. Trey Alaris hates Earth and doubts that anyone from his world can thrive here. But when he and Cricket lie together under the stars of ether, counting them all may be easier than letting her go. When everything in the world can be broken, will Cricket rely upon love to save her under different stars? What does that mean? Someone also said Dear Emmy Blue. Look at the cover of it. Gosh, I marked this as want to read on July 20th, 2020. Awkward. At 16, Emmy Blue stood in the fields of her school and released a red balloon in the sky. Attached was her name, her email address, and a secret she desperately wanted to be free of. Weeks later, on a beach in France, Lucas Moreau discovers the balloon and immediately emails the attached address. Now, 14 years later, Emmy is hiding the fact that she's desperately in love with Lucas. She's pinned all her hopes on him and waits patiently for him to finally admit that she's the one for him. But nothing in life ever quite goes as planned, does it? Low-key feel like I have to read this book. Also, I feel like I could be Emmy in this situation. Oh, that's gonna hurt extra bad. Why I feel like this author is just calling me out in every single language on the entire planet. Oh, my phone is gonna be so fat full of all these random books. I love it. Ta-da! Okay, I think that might be the last book that I put into this video. Thank you guys for sending in all of your books, especially like the ones that I've never heard of. I feel like that's actually so fun. I actually want to like do a video of like me going to a bookstore or something, looking at books that I've literally never heard of before, because I feel like all the hyped books, like I don't want to just become like an echo chamber of like all of these books that everyone is already talking about. I don't know, I feel like some books that I've literally never heard of and just picked up on a whim have honestly been like some of the best surprises in my life. So I literally love that, and I want to manifest more of that for like 2023 because I feel like we should all be introduced to like as many different authors and different stories as possible. So I'm gonna manifest that for all of us. But thank you all for submitting your best books of 2022. Comment down below your best books of 2022 if I haven't mentioned it in this video, or strongly advocate for one of the books that I talked about here to make me want to read it. That'll be great. Sometimes I just need to be pushed in the back with a sledgehammer. That's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and follow me on all my socials. They're all linked in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.